Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Chanina. If you're new here, welcome. So yes, I do still have on the same clothes because it's the same day. So if you guys have not checked out my last video, make sure you go check it out. So in this video, we're going to be doing some air fryer beef jerky. So I'm going to be using my Chefman, what's it called? It's like an air fryer, dehydrator, roaster. It does a lot of things, but I'm going to be trying out a recipe that I found online with a couple of alterations, or substitutions rather. And I'm going to go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do, so the first part of this video, you guys are going to see me actually do the marinade portion of it. So in the recipe, it does say to marinate it for like 18 to 24 hours. So you won't actually see me get to the hydration part of it until, or dehydration part of it until tomorrow. But it'll all be in this one video. So let me turn you guys around and talk about the recipe that I'm going to be using. Okay, so the recipe that I'm going to be using is from FRYERhouse.com. It's a healthy air fryer beef jerky recipe. Hashtag not sponsored. I just Googled a beef jerky recipe for, or dehydrating, and that was one of the recipes that came up. So these are all of the ingredients, but let me go over them with you. So it's asking for, everything is measured out. Now, will I use the measurements? Probably not. I'm probably gonna eyeball it and then go from there because it's a marinade. So but if you're a measurement type of person and you stick to measurements to the T, you'll need 1 teaspoon of red cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of liquid smoke, a tablespoon of chili pepper sauce, 1 pound of beef, a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a half a teaspoon of ground pepper, a half a cup of soy sauce, a half cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Now, the recommended meats for this wasn't on the website, but I just had to figure out what type of meat because you guys know we just did like this jackpot meat haul from Kroger. So I was hoping that we actually had the meat for this and that I didn't have to go out to buy it. So we do. So the meat recommendations for this recipe is sirloin tip, eye of round, top round, bottom round, which is what we're going to be using, and flank steak. Right here I just put ginger and teriyaki sauce because I saw a teriyaki version of it, and that kind of made my mouth water. And that's generally the type of beef jerky I buy at the store anyway. But I want to try a homemade version of it because beef jerky at the store is pretty expensive. And me and Olivia, we both like beef jerky, but I don't want to pay $5 for a bag of beef jerky that only has like 12 little small cut up pieces in there. So I'm trying to figure out if I would save more money if I just made homemade beef jerky. And so from what I understand, beef jerky can last up to about 3 weeks or so if you put it in the refrigerator. Now, how does it freeze? I have no idea. I've never met anyone or seen anywhere where someone actually froze beef jerky once it was dehydrated. But I'm pretty sure you can freeze it if you make the marinade and put the meat in there. You can probably freeze it that way with less of the marinade, of course. You know, I'm just thinking out loud, y'all, so I don't really know. But this is my first time making this recipe, and I'm going to be using my Chefman Air Dryer up there. So I first introduced that to you guys over the Thanksgiving holiday, and so far I've only made like wings. I've heated up food in it, and that's pretty much it. I haven't roasted anything. in it. So anyway, so I've got all of my ingredients here. The only thing I don't have is the liquid smoke. So while I was at Kroger, I Googled substitutions for liquid smoke, and it said that you can use smoked paprika. But what's funny is, because the recipe actually calls for smoked paprika, so I'm probably going to be just doing a little bit extra of the smoked paprika part of it. I've got ginger here, so some ground ginger. I'm going to use that to kind of give it like a excuse me, teriyaki Asian flair to it, and some teriyaki sauce. So I'm going to add that in. So I pretty much got everything here. This is most of everything that we already have in our pantry. So the seasonings right here, a lot of us already have Worcestershire sauce. A lot of us have soy sauce. The only thing that I had to buy to complete this recipe was the paprika, smoked paprika, because I already have regular ground paprika, and teriyaki sauce, which this is going to work for other recipes as well. And then I did buy the sweet chili sauce. Now it says it says chili pepper sauce, but I don't have chili pepper sauce because I also plan on making air fryer crab rangoon. So this is the dipping sauce for that. I fried some crab rangoons last night on the stove and they were amazing. And then I have brown sugar. So this is the meat that I'm going to use. If you haven't checked out none of my stock up videos, be sure to check out that. I got this on clearance for $5.42. So I'm just going to slice this up long ways. I'm going to throw all these ingredients in a bowl, and that's going to be the marinade. Okay, so I've got my steak right here. I've already washed it off and like paper towel dried it a little bit. So just kind of get the moisture. Alright, so I'm just gonna cut it like this. Now I don't know if this is the right way I'm supposed to cut this. Again, I've never made beef jerky before. Homemade beef jerky, but we're gonna try it out. welcome back. We're on day 2 of our air fryer beef jerky. So I'm using the Chefman Air Fryer Plus. I used it for the first time back around Thanksgiving or maybe before Thanksgiving. I can't remember, but yeah, but I like it. So this is my first time making the beef jerky in here. Now, I did pull the little booklet out of here for this because I wasn't really sure about the temperature as far as, you know, if it would be the same in here as a suggestion for dehydration compared to the actual recipe that I use. So in the recipe it does say to set your air dryer for 180 degrees depending on your air dryer that you're using, brand wise, and to let it dehydrate for 6 hours. So I've got I just plugged it in here, and so I'm gonna go for dehydrate, but I'm gonna put this on, let's see if it even goes to 180. Oh, okay, so it goes to 180. Oh, it goes to 180, but for dehydration it defaults to 140, and that's what it says here in the book. For dehydration, the default time is 8 hours at 140 degrees. So we'll just stick with that. That's totally fine, because I actually am starting on this a little bit earlier. I had planned to do the 24-hour thing, but by the time this gets done it'll be late in the evening. So I decided to do maybe the 18, 19, 20 hour-ish marinade process. And we're gonna go ahead, it's 2:41 now, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the dehydration process for our beef jerky. So this is what it looks like after being in the refrigerator since 5:30, 5:45-ish yesterday. It's now 2:41. Let's see, so it's been almost 24 hours. So, okay, so this is really easy to use. I actually like it a lot. There's a lot of things that I want to test in this. I want to do fried pickles. I want to do just basically different recipes, you know, for healthier eating with the air fryer, because we don't use it that often, but I would like to use it more. Just grabbing some foil here. Now, it's easy to clean too, okay? It does come with this little drip tray at the bottom. So what I normally do with this is I just take a little piece of foil. Hold on, let me put y'all here on the tripod so that I can use both of my hands. Okay, there we go. Let's see, make sure you guys aren't crooked. Alright, so with this little drip tray here, for easy cleaning, I just put some foil on it. That way I could just take the foil off and toss it. You can do that use that same method for casserole dishes too. Like if you got some pork chops or something that you about to bake and you don't necessarily want to go through a whole lot of cleaning, you can put foil at the bottom of your casserole dish and, you know. Now, I didn't pull a big enough piece off, but normally this would cover the whole sheet. But I'm not going to worry about it. I was just kind of making a suggestion for you guys. But yeah, pull off enough foil to cover the whole thing. But anyway, so yeah, this slides in pretty easily. It goes down here at the very bottom and it catches any, you know, grease or anything like that. That happens. Breadcrumbs, if you wanted to air fry some breaded shrimp or something, you can do that. So actually, let me pull that back out because I'm going to lay my beef jerky on top of my rack there. Fork, come to this side. All right. here. So that meat looks pretty good already. Give you guys a close up. Uh-oh. So that looks pretty good, right? Alright, so now the only thing you have to do, let me take y'all off of here. So like I said, this is pretty easy to use. The only thing that you have to do, we're going to go ahead and just slide this. Actually, I'm going to get this little dot up under here with a rag. Alright. And I'm just going to slide that back in there. I'm not going to take the foil off and waste it or anything like that. I think it'll be fine. So all you do is close the door. Now if you want the light, you just hit light, and that way you'll be able to see it. And then up here you just hit start, and bam, it's going to go. Now what I've noticed about this is when it gets close to the time that it's going to end, it'll kind of like beep a little bit so that you can come check it, you know, to make sure it's not overcooking. But yeah, so it's now 2:47, so we're going to come back in about 8 hours, but we're going to check on it in between the 8 hours to kind of flip it and rotate the racks. Because the one thing I do want to tell you guys is with the racks, sometimes the top will cook faster than the bottom, so sometimes you have to rotate while you're cooking it. So we're just going to set that, and we've got 8 hours to go. I walked in here like this thing was almost done. Let's see, how long we got? We got 7 minutes, Lord. Okay, I'll be back, y'all. Alright, y'all, so it is done. And it's hot, so I'm not going to try one right now. I'll try one when it cools off, but let me put this on a plate so you guys can see. And it looks good. It looks like it's going to be kind of sticky a little bit. It's got like a little glaze on it. Oops. So let me see if I can maybe open one up so you can see what. So that should make for easy clean up there, and then I'll clean all that out later. But let's see, is it too hot to rip? Alright, so we got our beef jerky. It's not too hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Ooh, and it's not tough. Surprisingly enough, none of the seasoning is overpowering. So you can't taste more of one thing over the other. Because I did free-handed with the seasoning. So I thought maybe there was going to be like one thing that I'll be able to taste the most. And honestly, this tastes just like beef jerky if I were to buy it at the store, but less sweet in the teriyaki brand. Because y'all know sometimes beef jerky can be, the teriyaki one can be a little sweet. Ooh, it's kind of hot. Uh-oh, ooh, he almost dropped it. That's hot. That's good. So anyway, that was my experiment with the air dryer. That turned out really good. This is really good. I'm gonna let it sit out. I'm not gonna put it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc bag once it cools off, so that it doesn't, well, whatever. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.